Hey guys, welcome back to Overtakes. This is Misfit.
And I'm Kel.
And we are here with our Sunday Backcap on Monday. Just because I had to do inventory and do real life things, but we're going to talk some Overwatch League for Stage 3, Week 4. Had a lot of stuff going on before the action started. Let's start with some of the transactions. Toronto, and I'm just going to reveal it right here. I got my shirt on. I'll have to back it up. Logix is back, baby.
I should have worn mine. I didn't even think about it. I got one too, but yeah, a huge pickup for Toronto, and
and they picked up Mangachu too.
Yeah,
or brought them up, I guess.
I think it was definitely a good pickup so far since we've already gotten to see what they did. Logix didn't play until the second game, but he
popped
made
off.
A clear difference. They still have a long way to go, but they're trending upward instead of downward now. So that's really the best they can hope for at this point.
Yeah, and you forget how good of a hit scan player that he is.
Yeah.
And, he had a couple of moments where I was like, oh, shit, I forgot how good this is. And, it seems to be that, and we'll get into this in a little bit, we're kind of moving towards everybody's kind of getting ready for that 2-2-2 lock, where you're going to have two DPS players, and you need a good hit scan.
Yeah,
and he could play McCree, which he showed in Widowmaker, and all the other things, and Tracer if you need it, all those kind of things. And Mangachu plays a really good Pharah, which you're going to need in this current iteration of whatever meta we got going on right now, with kind of the bunker compy things and the remnants of goats, if you want to call it that, like somber goats and all that. They look pretty good. I think they're going to be trending up, like you said. We'll see if they get into the 12, though.
Yeah.
That's the hard part. They still lost, but
we'll definitely talk some more about Toronto, but we just wanted to bring up the changes. So the other big news this week is the retirement from professional Overwatch of Fissure.
Yeah. And we kind of broke it weirdly because we were recording and it just popped up.
Right.
But damn.
So, it was big, and we did talk about it a decent amount in that last video, but it's still a big deal, and it really just kind of confirmed that he was riding the bench already.
Yeah.
And they're just a better team with Marvel playing than with him. And I don't think he didn't want to not be the big dog, basically.
Yeah. And he could be regrouping.
Yeah.
They ended his contract. He said he retired, but if someone offers him the right position and the right team with the right meta and all that kind of thing, I think he'd come back.
I think somebody can get him to come back. I think the biggest thing is for him to go from basically saving the season of the Gladiators and being runner-up for MVP and all these things, and then the whole playoff thing happened, and then that continued to happen on Seoul. I think he hopefully he realized that maybe he's part of the problem and needs to step back and kind of reevaluate things and figure out what he needs to do to really get himself back up to where he was.
Yeah, because it could be one of those just job burnout things.
Yeah.
Where, we worked in kitchens a lot, and it's kind of similar, sort of, where you think you know what you're doing and nobody else knows what the fuck they're doing, but at some point you got to evaluate, maybe I'm being the idiot and they actually know what they're doing and I'm not playing this right.
Exactly.
Which is, I think, what also happened to be a meta where he couldn't shine.
Yeah.
Where he was not a good GOATS tank.
No.
Let's just be frank about that.
He's just not. Yeah, it's not his play style.
No.
It's too conservative for a player like him. You need to be aggressive, but you need to be the right kind of aggressive. And he basically he wanted to be like Bumper, but his team just wasn't built to do
They're not that kind of team.
Yeah.
And they also have been playing together since, what, for the last 3 years.
Exactly.
And they don't know what he's going to do. I mean, yeah, you can watch tape and you can play with somebody in scrims, but these guys have been playing real-ass matches for how long with Bumper? They know he's going to go fucking YOLO.
Exactly. Oh, God. YOLO.
Well, there's what other ways to describe what the fuck Bumper does, man?
Yep. I mean, it really
Other
is.
than maybe, like, fucking Yeet Chad? I mean, there's no other fucking slang term for what the fuck he did, man.
Yeah, that's
or it does.
right.
I mean,
all right.
But
so
anyway,
let's dive into some of the games. We were talking about Toronto with their changes. Let's actually talk about how they looked this weekend and how different they looked. Even though they lost both of their games, I would still say
they look competitive.
They weren't just looking like they were going through the motions. Like they looked like they actually had some competitive fight and were like actually bringing something to it. They just couldn't bring it all together because you just replaced half your roster.
Right. I mean, it's communication and all that kind of weird shit and all that, but they kind of are going all in on the. And what I think it is, actually, I'm going to backtrack for a minute. What I think it is from the start, and a lot of people get on me because I was like, Toronto's good, deal with it. And you know what? The problem with Toronto is they were a good, straight-up, regular 3-3. It doesn't matter about the fucking schedule. I don't want to hear about the schedule shit because everybody has an easy stage. None of you motherfuckers from fucking Houston are fucking going off about your goddamn easy schedule, and you got beat by the Mayhem, and you almost got beat again this week. But anyway, well, a couple people. I'm gonna leave out Ramses. He said our schedule is really easy, and maybe Mel. She said that too. But like the rest of you people that are fans, anyway. So off the schedule, they ran a straight 3-3, and they ran it precisely, and then Stellar left, who was the biggest fucking cog in that, the Brigida.
Yeah.
And then they were lost, and they were playing a harder schedule, which, all right, I just said that, but you're playing...
But it's
everyone caught up.
Like, yeah.
And they didn't adapt.
It's also different in that, like, you can have, like, like, having that point where they were playing, like, back-to-back games against really, really good teams, that really does make a difference. And then playing easier teams also makes a difference too. But at the same time, I do think that even in those easy games and in those tough games,
I'm putting a couple of them in quotes because they did beat Hangzhou and they did beat the Valiant.
Yeah.
Who are like on top of their game right now. But those two teams adapted and Toronto did not. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. That's
the big change that this team just couldn't figure out. And it's like once it started to kind of lean more towards Sombra Goats, that's where they really started to struggle.
And even the Winston Goats things and some of the things that were going on in Stage 2 where you were kind of doing a little bit different variants here and there. They were just good with the Rhine Goats, the Rhine Zen kind of goat thing where, the
Rhine, Zarya, Brigida.
Bomb combo mattered.
Yeah. Yeah,
they were really good with that because Envy was good with the bombs and all that. But once Stellar left, that was bad. So they decided to revamp everything, and they just are going all in like Houston right now.
Yeah, just going all DPS or going big DPS, and it'll
work at some point.
I do think it will definitely get better for them, and they'll be much more competitive in the future.
Yeah, and I think with Logix and Mangachu and Ivy, I think they got a good trio of DPS players for if and when it goes to this 2-2-2 lock allegedly. That our boy Fisher just like fucking I'm retired. Yeah, we're 2-2-2 locking, which was awesome because that's one good thing about Fisher.
Right.
I want to say he's like T.O., but he's a little more honest than T.O. He's like, I'm done. So, T.O. didn't think he was done until he was like, what's he, 45 now? He's like my age, and he thinks he can still fucking play somewhere. But
right. I feel like every year
there's a video, like an MTV. There's a fucking ESPN2 tryout for fucking T.O.
Right.
Where he's like psycho juice ripped and like is trying to.
He's like, but it's him just like working out at a random like high school football field.
Yeah. And,
like, I can still do it.
Some like third string arena league quarterback throwing him balls.
Right. Like,
but
I'm
Fisher's
still
like
viable for an NFL roster.
But Fisher's just like, fuck it, they're running 2-2-2.
Yeah.
And I think the way Toronto's building, they're going to be better. I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Right. That's the
at this point, because they've fallen so far right now. I mean, luckily they had that first stage. I mean, we're kind of fans. Well, I'm going with, they're like my second team. They had that good stage where they went 5-2.
They're
That's the
probably
only
the
saving
closest
grace
thing I have to a team as far as like a team I really follow.
So they're in the mix. They're not like in the mayhem Washington range where they're mathematically eliminated, essentially, like where they have to run the table next stage and hope everybody else loses.
But it is getting to that point where they're right on that cusp, and they need to have a very good stage because they have not done well in this stage at all.
Or last stage. But these pickups are good.
Them more. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Logic's, but so I'm gonna obviously say, yeah, this is fucking great.
Right.
But for the next meta, I think he's gonna bring them because with the McCree buffs and all that, people always like go on his Tracer and his Widow, how good they were. His McCree is god level.
Yeah, his McCree is ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, there were a lot of times last year where they shouldn't have had any business going to 4 maps or 5 maps. And he was running McCree on, like, Ilios and things like that, and he was just hard carrying.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so that's good on Toronto. Let's move on to Chengdu. So Chengdu had a very polar opposite weekend. They had a huge game against San Francisco.
And we can talk a little about San Francisco in this too.
Yeah, and then then they ended up losing to Seoul, so that was weird.
But
well,
the thing with Chengdu,
honestly, a huge win for them.
Yeah,
and for them to get that win, I still can't really believe it.
Well, the thing with Chengdu, we talked about this a couple days ago. Like we were at work and we were just like talking about matches and stuff like that. Chengdu is burying teams that are still stuck in goats.
Yeah.
They're like Dallas. They beat Dallas 2 matches in a row. And they're beating teams that are sticking to the goats, their guns with goats, and they're not quite back into the DPS metas.
Right.
But the teams like Seoul can has been running a little DPS here and there. They're doing well against those teams, and Hangzhou and didn't Houston 4-0'd them or 3-0'd them or something, didn't they?
Yeah.
The teams that are running DPS, they're having trouble with, and the teams that are still like glomming onto goats, minus Vancouver, but they still picked up a map.
Honestly, Vancouver's not. They've adjusted their play style as well, and we'll talk about them a little more later.
Oh, I meant when Chengdu was playing them.
Yeah, but so with Chengdu now, I think one big thing is Jinmu proved that he is an elite Pharah.
Yeah.
In this game especially, it wasn't enough to overcome in Seoul, but in this game, like, holy crap, that dude hard carried on his Pharah. That was ridiculous.
San Francisco needs to do a little work in the stage break.
A little soul searching.
Yeah. Like stop getting tilted when someone plays Sombra, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Exactly.
If I'm the coach, I'm like, it's a fucking... all right. You can go off about how our EMP is great. You know what? Just play. Because there are there are a couple times, it might have been against San Francisco, where they were actually smart and they backed out of EMPs. Just play smart.
Right.
I mean... And stop getting tilted. And I think, and one of the things is, and I'm going to say this right now, all right, not Chengdu related, Rascal's been fucking carrying them in their losses, man, with fucking Baptiste, because he's absolutely a god.
Yeah, he is a...
Like, the only reason why they were in that match against Chengdu was because of Rascal.
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you. Like he looked really, really, really damn good.
And that's
But
the one
I mean, San Francisco's
adaptation
just
that
like
they
they're
made.
just holding on too tight to playing the 3-3,
Yeah.
and they're showing some
They're flexing a
like
little bit.
some
Because they have
flexibility.
great players. I mean,
They really do, and I don't feel like they're gonna be stuck like this for long. But I mean, this has always been kind of a thing with this team. Is it takes them a little bit of time to readjust when things are changed.
yeah.
But when they do, they come back even stronger, and they just
Right.
get better and better at that thing. But
And
like, there's
Chengdu is just ahead of the curve.
exactly.
And by the way, Ameng, what was that? A 6 kill? Was that against with Rhine, not with the
Yeah.
ball? That was one of the best shatter things I've seen. Whatever you want, shatter combo.
Yeah, absolutely.
On
absurd.
what was that on Dorado?
Yeah,
That
I
dude,
believe so.
that dude picked up his Rhine game a little bit. I mean, probably not going to see it too much next stage, if we get the whatever the 2-2 lock is. But
right. But it's still fun to watch.
yeah, and they're slowly they're adapting too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everyone thinks that they're just running this wacky comp thing, but they're actually
They're making minor little changes to their wacky comp
yeah
that are incredibly effective.
yeah
It wasn't so effective against Seoul, but I think Seoul is kind of also proving that
they're flexible.
they're incredibly flexible and they're making the right choices at the right time, and they're molding themselves into a truly elite team and kind of setting their own play style and everything. And I think other teams are going to have to figure that out because
Yeah, which
I mean,
is one thing.
they're running like a completely different roster than we've seen since the beginning of the stage of the season, and it's kind of impressive that they're playing
Yeah.
as well as they are with how many changes they've made.
Yeah, and I'm honestly, this is something we talked about at the beginning of the season. I am loving the fact that these teams have their own identities now.
Yes.
Or we're starting to get there.
Yeah, they're starting to kind of.
Houston's got their thing, Chengdu's got their thing, Seoul's got their thing, San Francisco, Vancouver, Hangzhou. Everybody's got this. It's getting to the point like in football where when you're watching a game, you're like, okay, the Rams run this high-powered offense and they got a sick pass rush,
Right.
playing whoever, and they have a run. The run-oriented thing, or they're playing Kansas City, and they got this West Coast kind of thing going on with Andy Reid. They got a solid defense. I love this.
Yeah, I think it's really fun. I think let's talk a little bit about Seoul because I think they're really evolving past their previous incarnations.
Yeah.
And figuring out the best things, and I think Fissure retiring.
I think it helps them because Marvel's better.
I think it really is a blessing that now they're going to kind of give up on the two roster thing. I think they kind of pick and choose the people from each roster that were the strongest, and they're putting them all together. And I think they're really starting to figure it out because, man, this team looked really good this weekend.
They did.
Not even just against Chengdu. They looked incredible against against Paris.
Yeah.
They're just getting better and better every week.
I like what they're doing too, and I think they've gotten the guys to buy in a little bit because Fleta, it's like one of those. Fleta's kind of a prophet kind of player.
Yeah.
And we're seeing they had him flipping in and out with these two, but we saw a lot more of him this weekend. And he was playing Zarya, and he was playing other stuff that he's comfortable on, but it's I think they're getting them to buy in. And that's the hardest thing to do in these weird fucking metas like this. It was easy to get them to buy in a dive. You could hard carry. Go ahead. You know what I mean? And the way they're running some of this stuff, you have Marvel, who I think, I don't normally say things, he's better than Fissure in this meta.
Yeah.
Or whatever this meta is.
or just whatever style they're playing.
Yeah.
Marvel is just a better fit to what they're trying to do.
And same thing with Fitz and all those other guys that they got that they're running in and out. They're actually
even a guy like Hailey.
Yeah.
For the fact that we're seeing less and less Rouge Hong, is
kind of sad because there's a lot of Anna getting played, but
but Hailey's. I mean, it's been seamless, and he has clearly been just a better player, honestly.
Yeah, like right now, and you don't want to say that, but but that dude is so good. I think he'll transition into something.
Yeah. Oh, for
and
sure.
we said this last year, but he came back and he looked good in the first half of the year, and he still looks good. It's just Hailey's better right now.
Yeah, just for what they're doing, like Hailey is just fitting in better and just making it work. Like, it's really impressive what this team has done so far to really like kind of take guys that not a lot of people knew and
for
turn
a change.
them into and really turn them into a really truly good team. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and
props to their coaching.
Yeah, for a change.
Yeah, no kidding.
Last year,
I mean, we used to get
Korean Kai Kai,
right?
Kai
all the
Kai
changes
Korea.
they were making, you're just like, what are you guys doing? Like,
okay, all right. Let's transition for a second, because I said Kai Kai, so that just brings up Dallas. So let's talk about Taimu.
Yeah.
For a minute, we were talking about Dallas needing to make a change. Obviously, Zachary is sleeping with somebody that owns something, and he's never going to leave the fucking lineup.
Yeah.
But they brought Taimu in, and he had a couple of moments, like kind of like Logix. You're like, yes, I remember that shit.
Right.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And, maybe you need that burst of energy.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's what happened is, like, he came in and he just kind of gave them, like, a fresh new look and, like, just a new energy of, like, I want to play.
Yeah,
let's
do this.
I'm going to play my ass off to make sure that I get to keep playing.
Yeah. And, the couple of times where he played Widowmaker, he... Of course, it doesn't hurt that Uber's announcing it.
Yeah. For sure.
It fucking just makes it... And same thing with Logix. It was like... He was like... When both of them came back in the lineup, it's like, oh my god! You're like fucking screaming. You're like, yes! I remember this from last year. But he looked good. On whatever he was playing, he looked decent.
Yeah.
He wants to be in there.
Sombra. He looked excellent. I mean, we're also seeing some more Harry Hook.
They needed to mix some things up.
Yeah, they're playing closer in Harry Hook. And honestly, it's working out for them.
Yeah, they didn't
even
win.
Though they weren't able to really clutch it out. I think they just looked significantly better in this game.
You still have 7
Trill
games
looked
left.
Pretty decent. I still question what's going on with OGE, but
he said he needed a break.
Yeah.
And I can see that.
Yeah,
I mean, it's been an emotional kind of fucking thing for him.
Yeah.
I
wonder if we'll end up seeing more of him again.
I think
Stage 4.
I think Stage 4 you're going to see some more of him. I think he just needed a break. They had the homestand, and before that, a lot of what they were doing was put on his shoulders.
Yeah. Because
he's so good. And they were kind of So he had to do a lot of the work.
Yeah.
Especially with their brig being shit. I'm going to fucking keep saying that. Shoot me. Their brig is shit. Anyway.
I mean, they did look better with him not playing brig.
Oh.
So they got that going for him.
Exactly. And when he played Genji and Hanzo and things like that, they look fantastic. He just doesn't want to play brig. So when you need to run brig, why put him on it?
Yeah, exactly.
If he's soft throwing, like we said last week. If he's soft throwing, why the fuck are you putting him on there?
Yep, I agree. Props to Dallas for making some changes, but I hope that they can continue it.
Hashtag play Mickey.
Yes, please. All right, so let's talk. Another team that we kind of questioned, how are they going to bounce back? And my God, did they bounce back? And that's Vancouver.
Hell yeah.
They are basically the Borg.
Yeah, they're the Borg. If you guys,
they get punched in the face and like just completely shredded, and then they come back even stronger than before, and you just are like, how the fuck did this happen?
Oh, you forget that they played DPS at one point because they played together for so long.
Right. Oh, and they're so good at that, they don't even need a tank.
Yeah.
They're just going to run some quick play comps.
Yeah. Is that bumper just styling?
My God. That was just gross.
Well,
like, what do you do against that?
And D.Va is kind of disposable now. So I think they figured out, all right, Stitch is the better Sombra.
Mm-hmm.
So put Stitch on Sombra, Sominsu back on Zarya, and we'll kind of work around. And then when we're going to run DPS comps, you guys are fucked.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, and by the way, as good as Grievous on fucking Ana with the sleep darts, yeah, there's this guy called Twilight.
Yeah.
You might want to watch him.
I mean, they didn't have to go that far because I mean the game was already over basically, but
right.
For them to play, like, to have Bumper playing Junkrat, Haxel is a god on Pharah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just this comp was ridiculous, and they looked like unbeatable.
Bumper tanking on Junkrat.
Yeah.
I gotta try that.
Well, I guess really it was Xiaomin Su that was really the tank playing freaking Reaper. Probably about the closest thing to a tank they had.
That, just to put that out there, that shows you their skill level. They fucking threw Reaper out there and they fucking styled up. Reaper's trash. He's about as good as Ana. That's to all you guys in my level, between bronze and fucking gold. Ashe is trash. You can put trash. Just call her that. She's horrible. Stop playing her. I'm sick of seeing her on my team. If there's a goddamn barrier there, if we're playing against Orisa, she doesn't do crap. Play fucking McCree, goddammit.
Right. At least you can break the shield quickly.
Yeah.
At least with Ashe, all you're doing is just like
throwing dynamite and waiting for Bob.
Yeah, I threw my dynamite and they burned and healed through it, so I just gave them ult faster while I try to build my ult. Like, it's so
Hanzo
fun.
Scatter Arrow.
Yeah.
It literally is that. If you guys, are not haven't been around the game that long, the Hanzo Scatter Arrow. Google that shit.
Yeah.
If you wanted to see me go off.
No kidding. Oh man, I don't miss that.
Ugh.
But yeah.
That was actually when I liked playing Orisa.
Yeah.
And then like playing Hanamura, and then you're in the fucking side, like trying to back up, and then some fucking Hanzo. Ugh. All right.
Yeah. Ridiculous. All right, so let's move on to really the last team that we want to talk about, and that's Hangzhou. And are they truly an elite team? Did they prove that this week?
I'm going with it.
They're getting close. They're right up there. I would say they definitely solidified their spot at number 4.
Stitch looks like a chihuahua. All right, I'm gonna come Trenchfoot. Stitch looks like a chihuahua when he does anything, man. He's got that fucking scared shitless look.
Oh god.
He looked terrified, but like he looks terrified all the time.
Right.
Well, when you're hanging out with Bumper, you don't know what the fuck that dude's gonna do. Maybe he's just like cautious. I don't know. But he looked fucking frightened. All right, let's go back. Sorry.
But yeah, so with Hangzhou.
Oh god.
This team looked so freaking good. And I mean, yeah, one of the games was Florida, but like,
yeah, but Florida was kind of on a high. They looked a little bit better. They beat Houston, which isn't saying much. Right. But I had to throw one in. I gotta get one.
There's gotta be at least one, guys.
Yeah.
Come on.
Plus, my team beat him, so I can throw it in.
Yeah.
But they're just like every week. I'm just watching them going. There's gonna be a point in the middle of like stage 4 where I'm like, this team's gonna fucking take this whole thing, especially if they 2-2-2 lock. They're gonna be teams better be ready for that.
Yeah, like they just continue by the game against the Valiant was phenomenal, and then
that was the best game of the week, by the way.
Yeah, hands down. Like as soon as I watched it, I was just like, yeah, there's not gonna be another game this week that's gonna be as good as that was.
And there wasn't. I mean,
the back and forth, and there really wasn't.
And that just proved that the Valiant was a good team as well.
Yes. That like it definitely confirmed
that was one of the things.
Valiant are legit. But Hangzhou is just better right now.
Yeah. 2 teams Toronto beat in stage 1. In case any of you guys are keeping track of how shit their schedule was in stage 1.
Yeah. Right.
I'm just fucking feeding right now.
I feel you.
Wow, I'm choking on my fucking drink now too. That's what I get for being an ass.
I mean, they just look incredible. How much more can we say about this team? Like they just look so much better. Like week after week, like they just keep getting better. Yeah. And it's starting to get scary.
Well, and
I love that we're getting another team that is looking this good.
Yeah. And they're flexing their muscles like in different, different phases too. Like we talked about IDK like for 10 minutes last week. He's just fucking stupid. Gushue is like, if anyone says it, like Trenchfoot just said something about him right now. If anyone says he's not a top 5 tank league, I'm gonna fucking punch him in the throat. Just, I mean, come on, man. That guy is so good. And he's not he's not playing wacky shit like Ameng. Ameng is really good at playing like, some of the he's a really good wrestler, really good. Obviously, Hammond does decent on Reinhardt. Gushue is just what you want your main tank to be.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Then you got all these other fucking guys going off. I can't wait to see like more DPS. Give me more of that because they can. The scary thing is they can, when they're playing teams like San Francisco, they can go goats. But if they play a team like Chengdu, they can go whatever they're doing. And, at the beginning of the year, I was kind of skeptical. But right now, I'm like, yeah, this team, I would put them ahead of the Gladiators. I put them right below, honestly, right now, I'd put them below the NYXL. Mm-hmm. For me.
Yeah, I'm with you. So I would put Vancouver 1, NYXL 2, and I'd put Hangzhou at 3 and San Francisco at 4, just because San Francisco
needs to adjust.
That they need to adjust, and they can get tilted very easily, and that's a problem.
It is. And there was a couple times, even when they were winning. Who did they play? Yesterday or Saturday, they're playing. I don't know. There was one point where Super was like, they were winning too, and he got fucking hacked. Of course, he got hacked, and he was like looking around at his other teammates like, "What the fuck? Like you're not gonna, Come on, dude.
You gotta do something now.
Sometimes you gotta grow a nutsack and deal with the little bitch that has the transporter."
Yep. Exactly.
And if you can't, you know what? Retreat. Do whatever you got to do. Anyway, off that, let's go.
Let's move into the final thing we wanted to talk about this week, and that is the stage playoffs. And they're pretty much set. So they have, 6 teams have locked in a playoff spot so far. There's still 4 teams that are up in the air. But really, it's just a matter of New York and Shanghai kind of locking in over the weekend to get in, because the only teams that really have an outside shot, or actually the only team that has any shot, is Philly, and a lot of things have to go their way for it to even happen.
Yeah, they have to sweep at the Atlanta homestand, which I mean, we'll talk about that later on in the week, because we're kind of excited about it. We love those things. I want to see different fan bases besides Shields up and Wings out and all that shit.
Yeah, but, right. Well, now we actually will get Wings out this time in the in the playoffs. But yeah. Oh, I see what you mean as far as the thing.
Should we touch on the absolute bro psychosis of Bren and fucking Baby Bay?
Oh my god.
That is creepy as fuck, man. All right, so in case you guys didn't know, DeFran backed out. Although he did throw it out there that he would go a one-on-one battle at the Atlanta homestand with Mangachu with Torb hammers. Torb hammer. Which
please, yes.
Yes. But Baby Bay and fucking Bren are creepy. And that's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah. It's real weird, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, and I'm that's gonna be the highlight for a minute in that. But so anyway, back to the Philadelphia's gotta win both games at that homestand to possibly get in. Houston could choke. Oh no, they can't. They're like either locked. There's nothing they can do to knock themselves out.
Yeah, Houston can't. But you know what? I was thinking about it today. And you know who Houston is? They're the Houston Texans. Like, they had basically the Texans make the playoffs every year.
Yeah.
Simply because their division is garbage, and they feed wins off of that, and then because their division is garbage, they play other divisions that are also garbage. But then when they get into a real game that matters, they get their asses handed to them, and that is what I fully expect to happen.
Like when they play the Bengals and get beat. Yeep.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they play
unless they were in the playoffs. That'd be the one.
Playoff.
That'd be the one playoff game that they would win.
They go up against New England and get fucking. Here, go home now. Let's not embarrass you anymore. Like they
walk into the stadium. Belichick's just like, here's your L.
Yeah. What's that big thing on the middle of the? Is that? Oh, that's an L. That's for you guys.
Oh. But like
Tom Brady actually stops throwing passes against them in the playoffs.
Right. He's just like, whatever. I don't need to play.
I feel bad now. I don't ever feel bad, but I feel bad now. Who's your quarterback? That's some like third stringer from fucking. Where's he? Some guy from Texas somewhere. You pick somebody out of the stands.
Yeah, basically.
Scott Zolak. Did you find him and just resurrect?
I mean, that was the Texans from a few years ago. Now they're legit because they've got Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, but he gets hurt all the time too.
Exactly.
And he got fucking his ass handed to him as well.
But yeah, that's exactly, and that's what made me. That's totally reminded me of Houston, 100%. And it's just like, and they were making it when Andrew Luck was hurt, so it's just like
Tennessee Titans late 90s.
All the things, all those things just lining up.
Does that mean DP's Jeff Fisher? Just throwing that out there.
Oh no, poor DP.
I don't. Okay, if DP happens to ever hear this, I did not mean any offense by that.
That's a pretty brutal one. But hey, actually, Jeff Fisher does have a Super Bowl ring, so that could be.
No, he does not.
Oh no, he doesn't. He's been to the Super Bowl, but he lost. That's right.
Yeah, 2 feet from winning. He has one when he was a defensive coordinator for the Bears.
Ah, correct. But, yes. God. Just nothing but mediocrity.
Yeah. I did make money on that. On side note, I often say how much money I made on Super Bowls when we bring them up. I did bet on Tennessee, and I did make money on that one.
Yeah.
Because the point spread was 16.5.
Damn.
And Tennessee's defense was way too good for that to happen. Anyway, let's carry on.
So, yeah, all the teams that have clinched so far are Vancouver, Hangzhou, San Francisco, Seoul, the Valiant, and Outlaws.
Yeah.
So the only ones that are still in it or that still need to clinch is New York and Shanghai, which I think with just one win, New York gets in. And even they could still lose both their games, but if they have a good enough map differential, it won't matter.
Yeah. Because New York's 5-0.
They're not going to lose both of their games. We know this.
We almost got the Dallas game right. We almost got the Dallas game right. That was the game we thought they were going to lose.
But I mean, their map differential isn't great, so if they can build that up a little bit, that would certainly help them. And then Shanghai basically needs to win, and they get in as well. Both of those teams, if they win, they're in. So it's going to be a pretty simple weekend as far as figuring out the playoffs for this stage. But the real big thing is
I'm going to throw this out there.
To Toronto.
Yeah, I'm going to throw this out there. They're playing. New York's playing both of our teams. Well, my teams. Mm-hmm. They're playing the Mayhem in Toronto. They should be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
My team's the homecoming team. That's fantastic. Even though it's not. When are they going to do that? I can't wait till next year. I want to see these crowds.
Yes. I'm super interested in. I want to see that, and I just want to see how it's all going to work.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of different speculation that it's going to be like, instead of a homestand, it's going to be a homestand where you're going to play like a weekend in a city, but a bunch of other teams are going to come there too, and it's going to be like, there's a lot of speculation that it's going to be just an expanded version of what they're doing right now. Which, I mean, I could see that being the case.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways that they could go about it, so I'm really interested to see how they make the logistics of that work.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's going to be fun either way. I'm sick of hearing the LA crowd.
Yeah, agreed. I want to see the Atlanta fans, because I feel like they're going to go nuts.
And the Dallas
even
fans
though their team's not doing well right now, I think it's still going to be a super fun environment.
Yeah, and the Dallas fans were like out of control, and the Houston fans when they were playing, not against Dallas and all that. That was fun, and I think it's going to add something.
Yeah.
All right, I think are we about there? We about done?
I think that's about it for this week.
All right, so well, one last thing. I'm just going to throw this out there. I haven't done my placements. I haven't played competitive since season 12. I want to play competitive again. I fucking hate bunker comp. I'm throwing this out there to you guys. What should I play? I'm decent enough on off tanks. I can play Sombra a little bit. Okay on everybody. I'm okay on. Fucking got nerfed, except for Symmetra, which I would pretty much be a troll on ladder.
I mean, I've had some games where I had Symmetra one tricks, and they were some of the best players we had. The biggest key with being Symmetra is like, you basically have to take over shot calling and telling your team what to do.
Yeah, I mean, they got to build around you. I'm okay. Yeah. Maybe I should focus on Roadhog.
Yeah, I think that one game would be your best bet.
Yeah, me and you played a good game where we were Orisa and Hog. We fucking carried that shit. That and that Genji that whiffed on a blade, but
stole all your kills basically.
Yeah. Fucking bastard!
You would hook somebody and he just dashed through.
There's a point where you're like Roadhog. You're like, can I just use the hook on my fucking TMOs? It didn't matter because we were kind of winning, so I'm okay. I'm not one of those people that like gets nuts with the stealing kill thing.
Yeah.
It's
just funny.
Yeah, I was like, my gun's up and I'm like, okay. But yeah, I'm just lost in that. You're good at Ana, so you're fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I had a rough weekend.
Hey, the last couple of days, man. I'm just gonna throw it out there. It's been trash.
Yeah.
No,
just overall, it's just been a weird weekend. I've also been like in a really weird
time area for you.
Yeah, I'm working a lot more mornings too, so like my schedule's all wonky, and like I've been a zombie basically the last couple of days, and like I couldn't get anything going, and like I had some games where I felt like I played well, but my team just couldn't do anything, and other games where I definitely was not helping, but I don't know. It's just been a really bad string of games for me Like, I got up to a decent point. I got up to my season high point, and then I fell another, like, 150 points after that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing... I mean, I play mostly quick play, which is, like, no gauge on my fucking skill level. But I lost, like...
quick play is weird for that.
Yeah, and I lost, like, I think 9 games in a row.
Oof.
There was one game, and I'm going to throw... I was soft throwing. Because we're... For the 15,000th time, I was... And I remember the last time I was complaining about not being on attack. I was on attack on fucking Horizon. And, I'm in low elo, and I just watched people run into a bastion, and I actually did the emote sit down, kneel down with Anna, and just watched people run into a bastion for 3 minutes and lose.
Oh,
I occasionally threw a fucking heal out to him, and I just kept typing in, "Stop running into the bastion! Stop running into the bastion!" Well, and like it wasn't even like he had a barrier. It wasn't like he had an Orisa fucking blocking him or anything. He was just fucking sitting there. I'm like, you just gonna run into him? Okay.
Yeah.
Just like, dude switched to Reaper, someone switched to Pharah, and the Pharah couldn't fly, so nothing worse than that in my fuck. I don't know how it is. Like, I think you could above like fucking Silver, but like the idiot that runs around with Pharah.
I had a game of in quick play today, where I was on defense and on Paris, and we ran bunker comp, and they just one after another just ran around the corner, and we just slaughtered them mercilessly.
Yeah. I don't understand.
So it happens. It happens up until probably. Honestly, I bet if you talk to anybody in like a higher elo, I'm sure it happens in quick play
in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
All right. So enough of the trials and tribulations. If you guys got a hero for me to fucking play that's viable that I can... Don't tell me... Please don't say fucking something stupid. I'll play Torb. That's not stupid. Maybe I should work on my Torb. Anyway.
Do it. All right.
Let's go, dude.
Yes.
All right, guys. That's it. Man, I'm going off the fucking rails here. You guys have a good rest of your fucking day. Thanks a lot for joining us. All you guys on YouTube, thanks a lot for giving us all the views and all that stuff. Please hit a like, hit a subscribe. If you're on any of the podcatcher things like iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, any of that kind of stuff, please hit a review. That would be greatly appreciated. Like we keep saying, we're working on some Patreon stuff. We're going to have our Patreon page fully going at some point. Maybe you can watch my placement matches on there, which would be fucking stupid. If hey, maybe I'll import the video and Kel can fucking rate how bad they are. We can do something.
I would kind of be down with that. I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Actually.
So Kel's gonna coach me in my shit ass fucking bronze level. I mean, let's mark that down. All right, maybe that'll happen.
I'm down.
All right. I'm down too because I need some coaching. Anyway, guys, we will be back at you with the previews for Week 5, the Atlanta homestand. And, we'll do all the playoff math. There really isn't much to do. We kind of did it for you today. I mean, there's a couple scenarios where other teams can get in, but this is the last stage playoffs. Yep. We're going to end Stage 3, which is fucking weird. I mean... We were clamoring. I mean, how long were we clamoring for this? For like 6 months, and like it's almost over again.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We have one more stage, but we will see you guys on Thursday at some point or Wednesday. You guys have a good rest of your day, and we'll talk to you later.
Catch you guys in the next one. Later.